Hey guys, it's
Hello!
the SG Flixters and we are back with our movie review of
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Ghostbusters. Alright, we just caught this movie yesterday. To start things off, this is going to be a spoiler-free review. I would say that the movie is not as good as I thought it was going to be. Yeah,
Disappointing.
it was disappointing, yeah. I wouldn't say it's a very bad movie, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. You know, they had so much to play with, all the cast of characters and the CGI and the effects and all that, but somehow or other it just didn't all fit well together. What do you think?
I thought that it started really slow and didn't really quite pick up.
Yeah, the action scenes were alright, I guess.
The action scenes were good. The ghosts were passable for 2021.
Yeah. I guess the pacing was very, very slow. Like the first Ghostbusters movie, it took about half an hour for character development before they actually go and fight their first ghost. But in this movie, it seemed like maybe around an hour before they even started fighting their first ghost.
It just felt long. I mean, I was not
Yeah.
looking at my watch. And even when they did start fighting the ghosts, it just seemed very, to me, it seemed very sudden. Like I was not quite expecting it. In a way. So not much character development there.
I think the kid actors did a passable job. McKenna Grace as Phoebe Spangler, I think she was the better of the kid actors, along with Logan Kim as Podcast. I think these two kid actors were the standouts. The rest, they didn't really stand out to me.
Yeah. I like Logan Kim's character.
Yeah, there was chemistry between Phoebe and Podcast. Yeah, but I didn't really feel a chemistry with the other two. Like, they were just there, and then they were doing their thing, but then there was no chemistry with the rest of the team.
It almost seemed like they needed 4 Ghostbusters.
Yeah, they just needed 2 other Ghostbusters to wear the suit at the end and then fight ghosts.
Yeah, they didn't really feel like necessary characters, right?
Yeah, they just needed to fill the shoes. I feel like the mother character, Kelly Spangler, she wasn't really very likable to me. Like, she had this super brilliant kid, and she didn't really seem to appreciate how brilliant her daughter was.
Like she didn't leave much of an impression with me. I guess in the beginning, in the earlier part of the movie, it was interesting to see the family dynamics a little bit. But that's not the point of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of gave the movie a little bit of depth.
And then there's their teacher, Paul Rudd, who's playing Gary Gruberson. Yeah, he brings the humor to the Ghostbusters, just like how Rick Moranis did in the first Ghostbuster movie. As you can see from the trailer, he's in the supermarket and then the dog ghost is like chasing after him, same as how it happened to Rick Moranis in the first Ghostbuster movie.
So there were a lot of parallels, right?
Yeah, People's Magazine, Sexiest Man. And she thought that was a joke.
Yeah, because I kept seeing all these like stuff on Facebook of him being interviewed, and I thought it was a joke. I seriously did,
Yeah. And then I told her, no, it's not a joke.
I felt like this was a kids movie in the sense of like that it was family friendly. I can't remember what the rating was, but there was some like the scenes were not that scary, so it's something that I imagine you could bring like maybe a 9 or 10-year-old to.
But there were some jump scares that you jumped to, right?
Yeah, but they were not like gory, and it wouldn't have given you a
It's just
heart
like
attack.
and then you just jump.
Yeah, so that was
get
good
over
fun,
it.
but
Yeah.
like it wasn't
Not
fantastic.
violent or anything.
Yeah, so I thought it would be a good kids movie, like for school holidays, bring the kids.
But I think from the pacing, they will get bored watching this movie. Especially for the first half. There was not much action.
So they were okay. So the first half was about introducing the characters, but they were not necessarily like the characters were not growing, in that sense.
The music was the usual Ghostbusters fare. I think they used a lot of the same kind of music from the first Ghostbusters movie. Especially the theme song and then those little sounds here and there. I think this Ghostbusters movies is mainly for the fans of the first 2 movies. It didn't really bring anything new. If you didn't watch the first Ghostbusters movie, you wouldn't really appreciate a lot of the things that they show in this movie.
Like the parallel.
It showed like why certain things happen in the first movie the way it happened. You know, maybe some things didn't really explain clearly in the first movie, so this one actually expanded upon it. Like why certain things were there and why it happened the way it happened and why things are happening again. And then from the trailer, you guys already know that the old Ghostbusters are back. So we do see Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Ernie Hudson coming back as Bankman, Stans, and Winston. Yeah, it was good to see them back. But I felt like it was just rushed. It was too rushed. They didn't really show them much. Not enough for me.
It really felt like it was playing for the fans.
Yeah.
Like people who were people like you who had watched the movie like 100 times and love Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So it really felt like this movie was a tribute to get people into the cinemas a little bit.
Yeah, but they really crammed it at the end.
I kind of felt like it was token original Ghostbusters. Like they were just there to please. It really felt like they were just there to please the fans, but
Yeah.
wasn't even necessary to the plot.
Yeah. But I guess it was like a nice send-off also, because there was one scene, which we will not spoil, but it was a nice send-off to a certain Ghostbuster. Yeah, so that was nice to see, like a closure lah. It was like a closure for them. So I don't think they'll be back for any other Ghostbusters movies already. I mean, Bill Murray looks so old in this movie. He's like 71,
Probably looks
but
his
he
age,
looks
right?
like he's 90. He looks so old and haggard, and he tried to give the same energy he had in the first Ghostbusters movie, all the wit and the humor, the quips, the quick quips and all that, the witty repartee. But then, because of his age and all that, he was being like forced.
It seemed unnatural.
It felt forced. It wasn't natural, yeah. Then,
It wasn't like, when we were talking about only murders in the building.
yeah, like how energetic those two old men are, right?
Yeah, that didn't seem forced. But for this one, it kind of felt, to me, it felt unnatural.
It felt scripted and unnatural, right? Yeah. And, I mean, Dan Aykroyd, he did a decent job, I think. But there was not much of him also. And then Ernie Hudson as Winston, he barely said much. Yeah. They were just there to shoot their lasers. There's also like a mid-credit scene. So I think you guys have to stay for the mid-credits. So don't leave the theaters once the credits start rolling. And I feel like the mid-credit scene had more heart than the rest of the movie. Especially if you watch the first Ghostbusters. When you watch this mid-credit scene, you'll get it. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Yeah.
So I guess in summary, if you are a die-hard Ghostbusters fan since the 80s, should they go and watch it?
Yes, definitely. I think all Ghostbusters fans should go and watch this movie. Should go and catch it. You'll definitely get a lot of the references from the first movie. What I also liked about this movie was how much they appreciated the sounds of the Ghostbusters movie. Like the sound of their weapons turning on. That it had that sound. And then the sound of the Ecto one also is the the car sound. That's all very nostalgic Ghostbuster sounds. Yeah, so I am glad they did well in this movie.
And if you have not been a fan of the Ghostbusters since the 80s, I would say don't waste your time. It was slow
Yeah.
and a little bit draggy. The characters were not all that engaging.
How many popcorns would you give Ghostbusters Afterlife?
I would give it a 2.5.
2.5 out of 5. Okay,
Yes.
let's pass.
Just
Let's
pass.
I would give it a 2. It's a fail for me.
But you just need to go and watch it if you're a fan.
Yeah, that's why it's a 2, not a 0. Yeah, I think it's okay, but it's not a pass for me. Because I grew up on movies like Ghostbusters, I would hold it as the same level as Back to the Future and stuff. So my expectation is very high, because I grew up with these movies. So just as much, if Back to the Future were to make a sequel, I would have very high expectations for that also. So because this didn't really meet my expectations, then I would give it a 2.
Yeah.
2 popcorns.
Maybe they should have done like a series.
Yeah.
Like how like Mighty Ducks came back as a series.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Yeah, so maybe that's what they should have done instead.
Alright guys, thanks for watching our movie review of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright, bye-bye.